Yes. Oh. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Happy Flag Day. Look into my world. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given love's peace of mind. I'll be waiting there with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Welcome, everybody. How are you? This is Songfather here on Friday, the 14th of June, 2019. Today is Flag Day, so I wear my beautiful flag shirt. Not made out of the flag, so don't think you're going to come and arrest me for anything. But Flag Day, let's go. Let's celebrate it. Let's get it up there. And I'm not going to go on any rants like I did yesterday, but you know what? Flag Day represents the country in which you are living in. Hopefully you have a roof over your head and some food in the refrigerator, a couple of bucks somewhere in your pocket, and you know, you're free to have opinions, you're free to barbecue, you're free to do basically, you know, pretty much close to whatever you want to do. That's the country we live in. That's why we celebrate the 4th of July. That's why we celebrate Flag Day, and that's why you stand up and you sing the Star-Spangled Banner, or God Bless America, or, you know, I pledge allegiance to the flag. That's what we're supposed to be doing as Americans, is banding together, whether we agree with who's running it or not, whether we agree with Congress or not. Americans voted them in. We all have to be together. So, happy Flag Day, everybody! How come I sound like Robert on Everybody Loves Raymond there? How you doing, everybody? Just about me. So, Yankees blow a 4-0 lead yesterday in Chicago. And Mishap, that's what I call him. Another guy, high hopes, had a lot of high hopes for Mishap, and no. And, he had some stuff working, and then, as usual, put something right down the friggin' middle. And I believe there was 2 outs. I don't know. But boom, boom, home run, ties the game up. And then they end up losing it. So, on the good news, Stanton and Mr. Judge are today, I believe, going to AAA rehab baseball and start taking swings and cuts and not simulating games, but actually hitting in games. And so that means, you know, they could be up by Old Timers Day, which is July 9th, at Yankee Stadium, where they are honoring and welcoming to the first time ever as an old-timer, if you can believe it. Although he always looked like he was 70 years old, but he pitched like he was 11. He was unbelievable. Mariano Rivera, number 42. Beautiful. So if you get a chance to get tickets and get up to the stadium, that's going to be fun. But I always found it more enjoyable to sit here by the TV and listen to Kay and, I was going to say Messer, could you imagine that? Kay and Sterling, and when they announce everybody, and my good friend for a long, long time, Mr. Whitey Ford, I'm hearing might make it this year, so that would be wonderful to see. So anyway, happy birthday to the President of this United States on Flag Day. That's pretty cool, I think. Mr. President Donald Trump. Today he is 70, don't hold me to it, but I think 74 years old. You know, he's in pretty damn good shape, even though everybody makes fun of him having a bit of a belly. He's 74. He's working 20 hours a day. You know, he's flying all over the place. Let's give him some credit. If you only want to do it today, then make it today for his birthday, you know. Happy birthday. You look good. Your hair's wonderful, everything, whatever you want to say. But so anyway, yeah. So happy birthday, Donald Trump. And Duke, the talking dog from Bush's Baked Beans. Remember Duke? I never understood why a dog was in a beans commercial. You know, but he passed away. He was fighting a battle with cancer. Who knew that? And see how I'm talking? What's wrong with me, man? But I know what's wrong with me. I'm from the Bronx. But yeah, so we passed away. I think it was this morning. And so that's probably why we haven't seen him in the commercials, because when they first came out, I was like, I mean, come on, seriously, how far are you people stretching that there's no talent out there that can write a commercial anymore? So, you know, we got to, stretch our imagination to understand that a dog is talking to the owners, and the dog is the only one that has the secret recipe. I don't know, whatever. But they ended up getting better and funnier. And so, you know, he's over a rainbow to e ooh ah ah ting dang walla walla bing bang. He's over Rainbow Bridge. So Duke, rest in peace, and you know, happy relaxations. And before we get to the first song of the day, the evening, great news coming out of the White House, I guess, or wherever it's coming from, that this summer, some of us in the United States of America is going to see gas prices go below $2 a gallon. And other places, like up here in New York, they're predicting it's going to go down to like, $2.30. Which we haven't seen in a long time. So, not bad. But now we got to make sure, it don't creep back up like it usually does. You know, it's only going down because consumption is down, oil consumption and, with the heating. But I don't want to get slammed, go up to $4 to try to make even for what they lost, because everybody's a greedy bastard out there. You know that. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. So I should have sang that song, huh? Now I got it in my head. Ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang. Maybe a little known fact that you don't know, that the guy that wrote that song and sang that song was Mr. David Seville. That's correct. The creator of Alvin and the Chipmunks. See? You learn when you listen to the Songfather show. Father. Hello, mother. Hello, father. What the hell's wrong with me today? I didn't even have any booze, anything, no wine, nothing. All I had was a cup of coffee, that's it. And about a half a bottle of rum chata. But that's it, nothing else. I don't get it. Something's in the water. All right, so anyway, here's this first song by Mr. Bobby Vinton, the Prince of Poland, or the Polish Prince, whatever they called him. And I always loved this song. I just did. It's called There, I've Said It Again. I never understood if it was happy or was sad, Is he because he's saying he wants to go and hide somewhere, but yet he's telling her he loves her, and then he's saying, well, I know you love me too, but is he only dreaming that she loves you? How do you get a headache from it at the end of the song? But if we take it from a romantic point of view, let's say it was nice, and let's say they did get together because he hung in there and he did say, I love you, maybe, I don't know. I love you. There's nothing to hide. It's better than burning inside. I love you. No use to pretend. There, I've said it again. I've said it. What more can I say? Believe me, there's no other way. Oh, I love you. I will to the end. They've said it again. I try to drum up a phrase that will sum up all that I feel for you. But what good are phrases? Thought that amazes is you love me, and it's heavenly. Forgive me for wanting you so, but one thing I want you to know, I love you. Since heaven knows when, they've said it again. Forgive me for wanting you so. There's something I want you to know, I've loved you since heaven knows when. There I've said it again. Yeah, I said it again. But nobody was there to see it. Nobody was there. I said it to the bush dog. I said it to Duke. Anyway, so so that was a nice hit for Bobby Vinton. And like I said, is it happy? It's not. Then you think, oh, you know what? It's just imagining it. You know, he's saying it, but he's just imagining that she's saying it back. And that's pretty much how Taxi Driver started out. You know, it could be. Are you talking to me? I'll see nobody else here. Remember him? Remember the guy in that movie? What was his name? Oh, yeah, De Niro. Remember that? Remember when he was just nothing but concentrating on being a good actor and going through life and entertaining people? Remember those days before he believed he was really part of the mob, and now he's going to punch out the president of the United States. He has publicly said he wants to punch him out and do unbelievable things to him. And because it's Robert De Niro, no visit from the Secret Service, because the law of the land is written, verbal, messages or whatever the hell. You make a threat against the President of the United States, it's an offense. It's against the law. It's a federal offense. Nothing. So he can just go and say what he wants. So I don't know. I don't like it. But you're done. You're done, pal. And so that one's done. I'm going to do this next song by Elvis very quickly after I talk about the Dominican Republic very quickly. I'm not taking shots of them. I have a lot of friends from there. And the Fuente brothers are a very good friend of mine and a whole bunch of friends of mine that they own, probably, I don't know, 40-50% of the Dominican Republic where they make all their cigars and everything. But the tourist end of it is just, it's out of control. The sixth person in the last 2.5 months, I think, just passed away the other day. 4 out of the 6 was from making a drink from the the bar, whatever they call that, inside your room there, and the other 2 were from eating in a restaurant. I'm not talking about jumped on the side streets or they were somewhere where they don't belong and, they got jumped or killed or stabbed or whatever. Somebody tried to take their money. No, they were just there doing what tourists are supposed to do, and they're dying. So somebody is doing something to the ice or somebody's doing something to the booze or whatever. But come on, you got to be kidding me. So, I'm just going to go right up here and tell everybody right now, do not go on vacation in the Dominican Republic. It's just impossible, Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I don't care. They give you half off, And minibar. I knew I would get it. Minibar. But yeah, so terrible. 2 of them within like a couple of days of each other, So you come back, you're hanging at the beach, you're with your honey, and yeah, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? I don't know. We'll just relax, but let's have a drink from the mini bar. Yeah, okay. What do you want? Okay, and then you're dead. Are you kidding me? I don't get it. So now the CIA And the FBI are on their way over, if they're not there already, and they're not happy with the investigations that are being done or not being done, and they're going to conduct their own, if not take it over. So, we'll get answers to that. And Big Papi's wife, haven't read it yet, but supposedly issued a whole big statement today about verifying that, yes, it was an assassination attempt. These two schmucks were paid by the drug lord down there, 8,000 American, 400,000 Dominican Republic pesos to kill Big Papi. You can't make that up. If somebody came to a producer in Hollywood and said, "Look, I got a script," okay, baseball player, he's from the Dominican Republic, definitely going to the Hall of Fame, very well loved by everybody in the game, and everybody loved him in the town that he played for, and he retired now, and he went back to his home, and somebody, put out a contract on his life to kill him. They would throw us out the window. Like, are you nuts? How far-fetched could you be? Who's going to want to kill a baseball player? Well, here you go. So, anyway, this was a song by the King, Elvis, to his Aaron Presley. And, way back in the beginning when he first was kicking out there and going on the Louisiana hayride. But when the movie came out with Kurt Russell, I saw a couple of clips, before it hit TV because, I got some friends in places, and everybody knows how I feel about the King. So I was like, wow, that's not bad. He kind of looks like him a little bit, but nothing prepared me for what it was, and the great job that he did. It was unbelievable. And but the movie started out with this song, and then it cut, as the credits are rolling, then it cut right into him doing this song, Kurt Russell. Obviously he wasn't singing it, I don't think. I think Ronnie McDowell did a lot of the vocals on it, but it was great. And this is yesterday I did Kentucky Rain. Okay, a lot of bad things happening in Kentucky if you want to fall in love, because this is called Blue Moon. A blue moon, a blue moon, a blue moon keep shining bright. A blue moon keep on shining bright. Gonna bring my baby back tonight. Blue moon, I keep shining bright. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and let me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and let me blue. Was on a one moonlit night, stars shine bright. Whispered on high, love said goodbye. A blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna live in blue. Yeah. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and let me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and let me blue. It was on one moonlit night, stars shine bright. Whispered on high, love said goodbye. Blue moon of Kentucky, better keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Yeah. One, two, three, four, boom. Blue moon. So I don't know if you remember that movie with Kurt Russell, but I thought he was like really, really phenomenal. And never saw it before, to be honest with you. The look-alike, the features that he had was so eerily similar to Elvis that. But till they did him up in the black hair and brushed it back, and even when he had the glasses on, and the scene when he shot the television, which is based on truth, it is the truth. And, that was another one when he used to sit and talk to his shadow and that was his brother, his dead twin brother, that died at birth, Jesse Garin, and he really did that too most of his life, and kind of hid it because he didn't want people to think he was crazy. Unfortunately, it's sad because it's not crazy. I talk to people up in heaven all the time. I know I'm not trying to plug Heaven's Phone, but if you go to YouTube, what's the other thing? iTunes, Looney Tunes, and I am really out of my fucking head today. I don't know why, but excuse my language. And go to iTunes and Amazon and somewhere else. You can download the song for $1 or whatever it is, and. But I believe in that. I believe that they can hear you, and if you really believe it and clear your head and start trying to be scientific about it, you'll hear them too, and maybe they guide you along, and they can give you a couple of answers here or there, or make you feel a little more happier today than you did yesterday. Who knows? You never know. But he had a tough life, Elvis. Doting, smothering mother, and even to the point where she used to push Vern and his father kind of aside a little bit till. He stepped up a little bit and said, wait a minute, he's my son too, for Christ's sake. And, his brother dying at birth, and, it was very tough for him. And he was, always knew he was a little different. And, the sideburns and the clothes and the rolled up sleeves and all that stuff, where that came from is because he was very frail growing up. And he loved when he used to see all the truck drivers, they had the sideburns out like this, and they had the big arms, and the tattoos on the arms and everything else. So he figured if he, made himself look a little bit like that, maybe, people would leave him alone and stop picking on him and making fun of him, which is another one of the reasons that, he rose to such heights in martial arts too. But growing up, he used to get knocked around a bit, and that's when Sonny Red West came in and became friends and kind of like bodyguarded him. If it was too big or if it was more than one-on-one, you got to get past Red. You want to get past Red? I don't suggest it. So, and that's why he was with Elvis from Humes High School all the way up until his death, and then up until his death. So, it's a wonderful story, except for some of the stupid shit and the people that wanted to keep riding the gravy train and kind of turned a blind eye to some of his substance abuse, and Dr. Nick with his overprescribing. Nobody wanted to let go of that train, and it's a shame because that train derailed and crashed and hurt a lot of people in the process. So we miss you. His anniversary is coming up. I had tickets to go see him in 1977. Never made it to that concert, but I did get to see him at the Garden, and I did get to see him in Vegas, and that would have been nice. So, to see him at the Coliseum. And a good friend of mine, Jeanette Mararana, who's now living down in Florida, she was working at the Coliseum for Harry M. Stevens. And if you're from the island of Long, you'll recognize the name, or if you've ever been up here in New York. And he used to have all the concession stands at all the major stadiums, maybe across the country, I don't know. But so she was sneaking out the back into the hallway to have a cigarette. And who comes walking by but Elvis, getting ready to go on stage over at the Nassau Coliseum. And she was like, and she dropped the cigarette out of her mouth and quickly put it out with her foot. And he smiled. He took his scarf off his neck and he gave it to her. And, she was like, wow, I can't believe this. She called me the next day right away. She said, oh, my God, you won't believe this. And I had just gotten an autographed Funny, what was the first one? Funny Girl, Funny Lady LP, long playing album that was autographed by Barbra Streisand. Now, she was just about as crazy as Barbra Streisand, if not more, than I was about Elvis, so we switched. She got to keep the album, I got to keep the scarf. It was great. And like the schmuck that I tend to be sometimes, I went out one Friday night and I put the scarf around my neck and I was telling her, hey, look at this, baby, and telling the story. And it was like, holy shit, you better put that in your car and go frame it and be okay. And so on the way home at the end of the night, after a night of, relatively quiet drinking, I think we only had 40 shots that night because we were taking it here. No, I'm kidding. But I'm driving home and listening to Elvis, with my 8-track. That's right, you heard me. And I get home and park the car. Where the frig is the car? It must have blown off out the window. And I went back trying to find it, and I could never find it. Could you imagine? What was I thinking by bringing it out of the house? Well, what are you going to do? So this is from Elvis Two Ways Aaron Presley. It was an album called The Lost Album, and it came out somewhere in the mid-'90s. And they called it The Lost Album because there were songs that were never really... some of them were never even stuck in a movie. They definitely never made it to any of his albums, and rarely ever sang them on stage. But they still had the recordings of them because they would bring him in and he'd make hundreds and hundreds of recordings, and so they picked out whoever they are, the ones that they liked, And I think Priscilla might have had something to do with the choice of the songs that were picked out. That she really liked about it, or maybe at that time, Linda, our good friend Linda Thompson helped. Who knows? But this one is called "It Hurts Me," and it's about a guy. And it could be a girl, but it's about a guy, and he's, he's really attracted, probably even falling in love with this girl, but she's with somebody else, and the guy treats her like crap, and he's saying, "It hurts me to see him treat you like this. It hurts me to see you crying." If it was me, you would never, ever have to cry again. You would never. I would take care of you. But you're still with him. You want to believe his bullshit, go right ahead. I mean, that's what he says. Don't get mad at me. That's what the song's about. And so another song that, he's laying it out there, but we never know how it turns out. I don't like that. It hurts me to see you sitting alone in your room. It hurts me to see you sit and cry, when I know I could be so true if I had someone like you. It hurts me to see the tears in your eyes. The whole town is talking. They're calling you a fool for listening to his same old lie, when I know I would be so true if I had someone like you. It hurts me to see the way he makes you cry. You love him so much, you're too blind to see he's only playing a game. He doesn't love you, and he never will. And darling, don't you know he'll never change? I know that he never will set you free, 'cause he's just that kind of guy. But if you ever tell him you're through, I'll be waiting for you. Waiting, told you so tired, yes, waiting to kiss you goodnight, yes, darling. If I had someone like you. If only, excuse me. Pure gin. No. Hey, what do you think my name's Rubino? Speaking of Rubino, I talk about him a lot. I consider him a good friend. I like what he does. Goes a little over the top sometimes, don't we all? But his heart is genuine, and he's a God-fearing, really down-to-earth kind of guy, and he believes in doing the right thing by people and praying for people and everything else, and all that's wonderful. And people forget maybe this is an act sometimes, but I think for the most of it, everybody gets it. But I got a couple of inboxes saying, asking me, why are you always promoting Fred Rubino? Was he paying you to do that? Do you have his permission? Maybe you should check with him before you did. I'm like, what? And I said, I never thought of it, so I checked with him. He's like, who's saying this? I said, never mind. He goes, well, it's ridiculous. Why would I tell anybody not to promote me? I said, I don't know, but I was told that maybe I should have checked with you before I start talking about you. And I said, it's crazy. I talk about you almost every show, especially Mondays and Wednesdays. And certainly Wednesdays, I said it last night on the show, Wednesday's question and answer was of epic proportions because, like I said, it was just unbelievable. He's sipping his Johnny Black, and he asks his wife, Christine, would you like a sip? And she goes, yeah, sure. And then she drinks like half the glass, and he gets nuts, get your own bottle. And she's like, what the hell? What are you doing? Oh, it's so crazy. It was so funny. The whole show was funny. He usually goes like a half hour to 40 minutes. And at one point, they were both so like into what was going on and busting each other's chops. And what time is it anyway? And she goes, 8:53. We said, oh my God, what are you crazy? We're almost for an hour on here, but it was good. So the only thing that we could come up with, Freddie and I, was like, mind your business, okay? What do you care if I'm promoting Freddie Rubino or if he's promoting me or, why would you care? Why would you take the time to actually go and tell me this? Unless you don't want me to talk about Rubino because you got something against him. I don't understand. Or you're jealous of the friendship. I don't know. I really don't get it. But I'm going to continue to do what I do here on my show. I'm going to continue to talk what I want to talk about on my show, just like Freddie is. I'm hoping that I will always entertain and not anger anybody and everything else. I hope people come away from it feeling good and with a smile. And from a lot of the, if not almost all of the comments that I get, that is happening. Two words like great show just melts me like butter. And, same thing with Fred. And, he's got a nice following. He's got a huge following. He's not doing this 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So, he's established this character, and part of it is obviously him from growing up in Brooklyn, and Christine from growing up in Brooklyn. They've been together ever since she was 16 and he was 48, I think. And it's almost 30 years now. So she's 46 and he's almost 100. So come on, it's been working. Anyway, mind your business, okay? Or as Freddie would say, shut your mouth. There we go. Now I feel better about that. So, okay, good. That's out of the way. Where did we leave off? Every week or every day, if I can, I would like to put something up there that is like I called a what moment. And news coming out of the poker world, the World Poker Tour and everything else was, I didn't write her name down because I'm a schmuck, but she was a Russian professional poker player. And she's been on the main event in the World Poker Tour and all the other stuff. And she was found dead. And she had just been, I think they said 2 days before that, like doing a commercial for the upcoming thing this weekend or whatever. I don't know. I forget what it was. But they found her dead in the bathtub. And there were no signs of foul play or anything. And, no cuts or contusions. And their investigation, it turns out, is that while she was in the bath relaxing, something happened with her hairdryer. And she must have dropped it in the water. Case closed. What? Really? I mean, seriously, really? That's your investigation? I've taken a few baths in my life. I'm sure most of you out there have too. How many of you, while you're laying in the bed, say, gee, you know what? I wonder what happened if I dropped the hairdryer into the... Let me try and see what happened. Get the fuck out. It's ridiculous. And that's it. It's done. The case is closed. That's what happened. Shame. What a shame. Such an accident. An accident, my ass. She must owe somebody a lot of money or something. I don't know. Forgot to pay or wouldn't pay or whatever. But so anyway, rest in peace and say a prayer for her soul. But there's no way that, that happened by accident. Sorry, you can't. Sorry, can't do it. Won't do it. And then yesterday, I went in to to see Pops. I try to get in once or twice a week. And, I brought him in some nice rigatoni and with the sauce and the meatballs. And this time I put in some nice ricotta and mozzarella and made one big And then I also made him the Fred Christine recipe they had on, not this Monday that passed, but the one before that. An unbelievable, such a simple dish, medium-sized shells, sausage and roasted red peppers, chopped up nice into tiny bits and pieces, put a little red pepper juice in there, right? Cook it all up nice. They put in chicken stock. I put in white Zinfandel, same kind of thing. Little garlic salt, a little onion powder. You mix it all together. And, oh, my God, it's the most unbelievable dish. And it went like that. And my father said to me, he said, you bring that to me every week. Okay, Dad, I will. And so, yeah, it was delicious. But so I'm in, and surprisingly, I made it, just about to the Van Dam, a little slowed down in Queens, as usual, because there was an accident here or there, because, I'm not even going to say it. But, between about 4 or 5 exits, there are a lot of people that you don't drive too well, notoriously known for not driving too well. Leave it at that. And so then it picked up again, Woodhaven Boulevard, it always slows down. And boom, then we're taking off, and we're going, great, and all of a sudden, not even going like a mile an hour sometimes. And at one point I look, and I'm in the left lane. In front of me is an Uber driver. In front of that, or a Lyft, is another one. And in front of that, you could see the TC is another one. I look in my rearview mirror, there's one behind me. I look in the middle lane, and the SUV next to me is an Uber driver. And for the next 5 cars up that I could see are Uber drivers. And for the next 3 cars behind me is 2 Ubers and a yellow cab, a real cab driver. And then over in the right lane, same thing. So I counted, but I mean, at one point when we weren't moving, I counted 17 and 1 yellow car around me, and only 1 other person, like me, a regular person driving a car. That is what's causing a major congestion now to get into the city, to get out of the city, to get around in the city. Something's got to be done about it. There's got to be a cap. It's just too much. And like I said, I think I said it once before, I just feel bad for the people that spent $150,000, to get their medallion so they could be a cab driver. And then Uber comes along and like, wow, that you're running with a meter there with these guys, and I don't want to meet them. And I don't blame them. The people that, would rather use an Uber, it's a 1 flat fee. That's it. You want to go from here to here. How much is that? Yeah, it's $35. Okay. That's it. Now, if you take the yellow cab and they put the flag down and you're sitting in traffic, they don't care. That thing just keeps ticking away. So, maybe that needs to be addressed too. But there are I don't know about where you live, and maybe you've seen the same thing. But there are far too many Uber, Lyft cars coming in. Anybody could get it. I mean, obviously there's not a lot of research done into who they're giving, this license to. The second one yesterday, one was a Lyft, so let's put him away. But he had 35 suspension on his license. And yesterday was an Uber driver that they arrested. He had 47 suspensions on his license. How do they get an Uber license? Who's checking them out? Would you just say, look, I'd like to have a license. You have a license? Yes, I do. Oh, let me give me a copy of it. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. You're good to go. And that's it? That's something. Not good. So I had to get that off my chest because I was screaming at all of them at my window. Go home, get out of here. And then I got lucky. Undercover, it looked like the CIA, but car is trying to come up behind us, The lights are going blue and red, blue, red, white, blue and red, blue, and the siren blasting and nobody's moving. Then they finally get it and everybody starts moving aside. And I move over, he comes by and I get right behind him. And I had to go for 10 minutes, non-stop, and people trying to get in front of me. And no, sorry, screw you. I had the idea before you. And I got like an escort almost all the way up to the tunnel before he got off, and I was able to go right through. So thank you. That was great. So, okay. So now we just did 2 Elvis, right? Sorry, my throat is dry today. Probably because I talk too freaking much. But so this song I'm thinking about ending every show with this one, with me singing it, or I'll record it and just play it on the way out, like I do with Welcome to My World. But most of the time, Bobby Darin liked to end his concerts, his live concerts, with this song, because I'm not going to go through his whole history again in his life and all the stuff that he went through, which was, it was tough, especially with the health and everything else, But he was, and always said, there's only two things that he was the happiest, where he felt the happiest in life. And after he found out that his mother was really his grandmother and his sister was really his mother, they're out. And it was when he was with Sandra Dee and when he was singing. That's it, And this song is called As Long As I'm Singing. And I think it's just like it's an appropriate way to end a show like this, or it's an appropriate way to end a show on stage or in Vegas or wherever you're doing it, on a TV show. For him, it was. And so, maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I keep asking for, any ideas, but nobody's talking to me. So you must like what's happening. That's good to see. That's good to know. Oh, look, Dr. Phil is saving the world. Excuse me while I do my Elvis impersonation. Anyway, okay, I don't know if you remember that, but why he shot the TV was because Robert Goulet was on. And it was another time he shot the TV, too, because they were talking about whether he was going to make it or not, coming back to a live audience and everything else, and his Elvis washed up and all that shit, At the same time, there was somebody out there that was trying to kill him and tell him, don't go on the stage tonight because I'm going to shoot you. So he was under a little bit of pressure anyway. But so anyway, here is As Long As I'm Singing. But anyway, let me just finish. So they were sitting around one day, and him and Priscilla and Robert Goulet came on. And, I can relate because I'm a bit of a friggin' stunad maniac myself, too, so sometimes. And Priscilla went and said, okay, all right, like here, I'll give you an example. Nah. Priscilla went and said, and I just love the way he sings. And gets a look from Elva. Really? You like the way he sings? Yeah. It's like he's like a mannequin. He doesn't even, he's got no feeling in his voice. He just, she goes, I just like the way he sings, And he's not bad looking either. That was it. That was it. He couldn't stand Robert Goulet for forever after that. And Robert Goulet had a couple of unnice things to say anyway too. So the one day when he was sitting in Graceland, and it was a Robert Goulet special, and he came out and he was wearing his tuxedo, and he so he got some pleasure out of that. But so anyway, here it is. As Long As I'm Singing, love this song. It's a nice up, boom, bang, bing, boppity boop song. So the story I was going to tell, and I'll tell it now, that you understand about Elvis, is that Bella had said to me, she's very much into music. So now, could you do you know Jackie Wilson? yeah, I believe I do. She goes, no, I mean, do you know his songs? And I said, yeah, of course. I'm a very big fan of Jackie Wilson's, Actually, so was the King. And that's how I got onto this whole subject, And she goes, oh, God, if you could. I love his music to death. I just love him. What? Wait a second now. Slow the Motown trade down here a second here. Kidding around. And then I told her the story. But, why I was doing that, because that's what oh, really? Oh, huh? Oh, you like him? Yeah. So here it is, As Long As I'm Singing. Beautiful song by Mr. Bobby Darin, Walden Robert Casoto, if you don't know. Hey, that rhymes. As long as I'm singing, there's a bell up in my head, keeps ringing, making a crazy ding-dong. And if this band don't desert me, then there's nothing in the world can hurt me, long as I'm singing my song. Give me trumpets, legato, put some saxes with them, strings, pizzicato, add some rhythm. As long as I'm singing, then the world's alright and everything's swinging, long as I'm singing my song. making music is more to me than a pleasure. 'Cause me and my music, oh, we go together like notes in a measure. Long as I'm singing, then the world's alright and everything's swinging. Long as I'm singing long as I'm singing long as I'm singing long as I'm singing my song. Ah, what a tune. See what I'm saying? What a nice way to end the show, you know? I'm happy, I'm singing, I'm swinging, bells in my head are ringing. Ooh. Ooh, whoa. What the hell? I'm going to have to go get a blood test done. Maybe somebody did something to me when I was sleeping. I don't know what's going on. Here he is. You hear him? Can you hear it? It's Thursday. Oh, it's Friday. He's late. 444. God bless you, Ma. Let me explain that to you so you don't think I'm nuts. Everybody's got certain numbers that remind them of things. And unless you're schizophrenic, then every number reminds you of something. But 143 is I love you. 413 is my mother's birthday. There you go. But 444, she was having eye surgery. And I think I told this story before. I think on Facebook, but I don't think here. And so I take her to the hospital. And we get there a little early and set up. She was very nervous, and I don't blame her, And because she had fallen and hit a ride, and she was here by herself. She didn't want to get the guy falling, can't get a button or whatever. So, she was on the ground for a couple of hours before my sister got home. And she had some bleeding inside, and it kind of covered the cornea. And, almost like paint got on it, So they're going to see if they could clean it up and fix it and everything. And so we're getting ready, and now we get her inside, and, she gets dressed in her gown and blah, 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 and sat with her for a while. And now they're getting ready to take her in, and they're going to give her the anesthesia and blah, blah, blah. And all right, Ma, I'll see you later, give her a kiss, and I'm sitting outside in the waiting room, and I don't know, maybe 20 minutes go by, and the nurse comes out, and, Mr. Grosso, I get up, yeah? She goes, oh, okay, there you are. I need to ask you a question. Is your mom, is she okay? I'm like, you got the nurse's outfit on. Were you asking me if she's okay for? No, I mean, is she okay? Does she got her faculties and, faculties? Yeah, she's the principal of PS 190. What are you talking about? She goes, well, she doesn't seem to know, her birth date. And we, until she tells us, that whole thing that you got to do with your name and date of birth, until she can verify that, we really can't bring her in. I said, what do you mean? My mother don't know her birthday? Bullshit. Oh, maybe you already gave her the anesthesia or something, but come on. Well, you can't go in there. I said, well, then wait here, and I'll come out and see you. And I went in. And I said, what's going on? And she goes, I don't know. They're telling me I don't know my birthday. And so then the other nurse, the nice nurse, the humane nurse, not nurse rat shit, says, the problem is we asked her birthday, and she said 444. And we said, okay, but that's not a birthday unless you were born in the year 4. That would make you, 2,000 and whatever years old. And she's like, and she was giving us a hard time. So I go, Ma, what are you talking about? She goes, what's your birthday? She goes, 444. You know that. I said, no, I don't know that. You were born April 4th in the year 2000? I mean, the year 4? Like, She said, no. What's my birthday? I said, I know your birthday. I'm not giving you the answer. I'm not falling for that one. She goes, I was born in April, right? I said, yes. She goes, 4. Okay. She goes, and my birthday day is the 13th, right? Yes. And what is 3 and 1? 4. Okay. And I was born in 1931. 4. I'm like, oh, 4. I said, okay. She goes, I did that so I would make sure that I don't forget it because I knew they'd be asking me that. I said, no, that was good. That was good planning, but they were all ready to send you to the loony farm because you think you're over 2,000 years old or whatever. So it was a long standing joke, before she went to heaven. So every time I see the 444, I always think of that. And, it kind of makes me smile a little bit, So now you can smile with me. And, you know how it is. So, we're going to do this thing a couple of times every week. And, everybody's welcome to make suggestions, whatever song they like to sing. And then every once in a while, we'll have the Bella pick and we'll have the, pick of the week or pick of the day or whatever you want to call it. And anybody else, too, that, of course, that's out there, you know. Like yesterday, Chrissy wanted to hear Suspicious Eyes by Elvis. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, let me do Suspicious Minds first, and then I'll do Suspicious Eyes. But, you know, it's good. It's fun if you have a song you'd like to hear, and I sing it for you, you know, but especially the Bella Boop here. And she wanted to hear Randy Travis's Forever and Ever Amen. And you know I love that song. I like the country western song. I like Randy Travis, and I just love this song. Like he's professing everything. Okay, look, I wasn't always the greatest guy around. Yeah, I might have played a little bit. Maybe I was a little bit of a player, but I'm not no more, you know. There's nobody in my head, nobody in my heart but you, so, you know. Give me a chance, he's saying. Just, you know, let me prove it to you. That it's me and you. From now on, I'm going to love you forever. Forever and ever, amen. If you know what I mean. Would you like to? Let's go. Let's go. Time is money. Where's the band? Thank you. You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. You may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. You're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours till the day that I die. Oh baby, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, I'll be happy to tell you again. Yeah. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. They say time takes its toll on a body, makes a young girl's brown hair turn gray. Well, honey, I don't care. I ain't in love with your hair. If it all fell out, well, I'd love you just the same. They say time can play tricks on a memory, make people forget things they knew. Well, it's easy to see it's happening to me. I've already forgotten every woman but you. Oh, Bella, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. Yeah, that's right. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, well, just listen to how this song ends. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. Not a nice thing to say. What a nice thing to hear. Ever and ever, amen. That means after death, when we go to heaven, I'm still going to love you. But first, I'm going to be running around on the clouds saying hello to everybody. doing shots of Sambuca. Anybody else hear that thunder? No? Okay. So anyway. Okay, so you got to watch me be a little crazy today. I don't know. It was fun. I like being crazy, and so that's where you can do it. You can call me the Gazzo Pazzo Father. But so anyway, I'm glad you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And, we got the weekend up. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And, big difference between being a father and a dad. Make sure you guys out there are doing both, There's a time to be a father, and then there's a time to be a dad. And the dad has got to be, I'll throw a number out. Let's throw 75% of the time. And then you got to be a father, too, through your example and teaching and all the other stuff and your character and how you act and all that stuff. But be a dad. That's what they remember the most, beatings and, stuff like that. And when you got in trouble, whatever, yeah, okay. But the fun they remember, the silly things that you do, sitting in a room and farting, pulling the blankets up over the head. Oh, no, that's on your honeymoon. But now you know what I'm saying. Be a dad, be a dad, be a dad, be a dad, and then be a father. So I hope everybody enjoys the Happy Father's Day. And for everybody whose father is up in heaven, and of course to the Father, God the Father, I hope it's a nice, special, blessed day for everybody, full of love and hugs and smiles and sitting around in memories and, because that's what it's all about. That's what I say anyway. So, all right, love yous all. And I'm going to stop the thing with the eyes because it's getting out of control. But we will still continue to say BAM at the end of every show. So if you would please join me. 1, 2. First of all, never heard of this guy. Does anybody ever hear of this? Peppa Pig. I have no idea what it is. But there's a cute, cute, cute little girl over in Northport. Or is she in Comac? I don't know. I forget. In Comac. That is completely, in awe, mesmerized by Peppa Pig, and so I had to get this for her, and we're going to give it to her next week. So if anybody doesn't know, I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's Peppa Pig, but here's Peppa Pig. So have a good Peppa Pig weekend. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, BAM! Have a good night, everybody, and we will see you Monday at 6 o'clock. All right, go ahead.